Alright, hello, and it's day number 45 of my accountability to myself. And today, before I'm going to tell about everything I've learned per day, before I'm going to share with some of my minor reflections, I would like to tell about one story, about one idea, about one conclusion that I caught myself with in a result of thinking about God. Because for me personally, it's very important topic and it's really personal topic. Normally I don't talk about this, and there are very few people with who I can talk about this, but today I want to leave this, to have the story during this challenge of 240 days. So basically, the most changes in my life and the most hardships I faced over the past 3 years. I wasn't really satisfied with my life, but I was always going up. Then I was giving up, I was going up, I was failing again, and as a result I was moving further and further, but I have never really questioned a topic about God. I've never treated seriously, and once I even thought it doesn't exist. It's according to the science, God doesn't exist, and I don't even want to believe in this. But over the past year, maybe more, I started thinking about this. I started realizing that I was mistaken. I didn't know anything about this, and that's why I came up with a conclusion like God doesn't exist. And my deepest thinking about God, my deepest belief started over the past 4 or 5 months. It's exactly the period when I started encountering lots of challenges and lots of problems, which are not really problems, but I thought this is our problems. And I was questioning only one thing: why it happens to me. I tried to talk with God. I tried to understand why I just want to live a peaceful life, but a lot of things happened to me. And thinking about this, especially over the past 2 months, I realized that we genuinely must be grateful for every challenge we go through in this life. Because those challenges, this is a system. It's a God system that helps us to move further, that teaches us lessons, and that hardens our mentality. Unfortunately, we can be taught only through consequences. And that's why we go through lots of challenges. That's why we go through some losses. And that's why we experience so much things we wouldn't like to experience in this life. Because it's important to remember that life tries to correct only those who still can be corrected. Because indifference starts in the moment when you don't face any challenges anymore. It means that you have given up so many times that God noticed it and said, alright, you can live your mediocre life. You can do whatever you want. It's okay, it's your decision. If you don't want challenges, you won't have them. but you will never ever get closer to the life you was dreaming about. What is the point in general of those challenges that we face? Every time when we go through hardship, it makes us better somehow. We are more prepared, we are learning more knowledges, we are getting stronger mentally, and in essence, God genuinely cares about us when He gives us those challenges, because only through those challenges we can become a person who can achieve all of that stuff that we dream about. And God will never give us challenges that we cannot cope with, because we have only two options. One, to give up. Second, to overcome this challenge and move on. If you give up, you stay the same person. If you overcome them, probably you experience not the best period of your life, but you grow as a person. You become a new person. Literally, after each challenge that you go through, your previous identity doesn't exist anymore. There's a new one that is stronger, that hardens, just got stronger, got more knowledgeable, and that is better prepared for the next challenge. And each of those challenges, whether makes us to start moving otherwise, or probably makes us to implement some challenges in our life, but somehow we are getting another person. We are gaining a new identity, which is crucial to get closer to our aims, because nowadays being a weak, being a emotional person, being a person who's unable to do a lot of things, we cannot really achieve those aims, because if we could, everyone would do this, if you know what I mean. So the bottom line that I just realized, each challenge that I went through, it really made me stronger, and it really made me better prepared for the next challenge. It's, as I mentioned, over the past 3 years, I was experiencing not the best period of my life, but I can genuinely say that I have no idea what I was doing 17 years before those 3 years. Everything I know, everything I've learned, everything that serves me today, I've learned over the past 3 years. It wasn't the easiest part of my life, and as I mentioned, sometimes I was going up, I was going down, going up, going down, and I felt not bad. And today, I cannot say that my feeling is the best. Honestly, I don't really feel bad, but if we are talking about my condition a month ago, maybe 2 months ago, it was dreadful. I felt that, what the hell is going on in this life? Can I just fall asleep and wake up when everything will be better? I genuinely didn't have desire to do anything. I couldn't get any happiness, any positive emotions from anything. I literally saw this world as everything is grey outside. There are some reasons for that. Because as I mentioned, when you go through some challenges, sometimes it reflects your mood not in the best way. But today, when I feel a bit better, when I see what am I doing and when I see the path that I went through over the past 3 years, I realized that only because God exists, it gave me so many challenges that I am in the place when I am, and I'm the person who I am. And most important, I have an opportunity to become even a better person, to go through even harder challenges maybe. I don't really want to mention about everything that happened to me because it's literally something personal. But just trust me. The way I felt, the way I feel, I don't know, it was horrible. And I was questioning God, like, why it happens, when will be end of this? And I realized that the God gave me those challenges because I was able to cope them, and it literally made me as a stronger person. Even some things that happened to me like a month ago, about 2 months ago maybe, they gave me so many power. They empowered me so much. They made me learn so much that I'm glad it happened. If it didn't happen to me, I wouldn't be able to start this path. I wouldn't be able maybe to start this challenge. I wouldn't record this video. Because only because of those hard moments that I encountered, I decided that I need to change something. I decided that I need to create new personality, to create another person, to change something. And only due to those challenges, I'm recording this video, I'm studying every day, I do another stuff, put it in this way. And literally everything due to God, because He gave me those challenges. If I didn't have, just imagine, if you don't have those challenges, your chance to become better is 0. If you have those challenges, you have 2 options. One, to become better, and 100% you become better, or you stay in the same place and probably you became better 10-20%, but not enough to overcome this challenge. Maybe you didn't change anything, but at least you had this chance. And that's amazing. That's the moment when I realized that God literally hears you when you talk with Him and you have your aims, because it prepares aims. It prepares challenges that might move you closer to there, and everything that God makes, it gives, it creates, it loves, and it speaks so loudly through silence. And it's basically everything that we need to understand. We don't need to doubt existence of God, because we will never be able to fathom what it is, what kind of power it is, and how it works like. We must be grateful for every challenge we go through, because it means God is not indifferent about us yet. I know some people who don't have any challenges, and trust me, it's really sad to observe some people who don't become better over year to years. They stay in the same position, and you can see that between you and that person distance is bigger and bigger. And in those moments, you start to value those challenges that happen to you. And the last thing that I would like to say, life doesn't punish you, it adjusts, it educates, and it directs you, it gives you direction. Honestly, I would like to prepare better to talk about this because I almost didn't prepare. I have a small paragraph that I wrote, and when I was lying on my bed and thinking about this, I was imagining better this monologue in my mind, but at least it is as it is. It's better to express it at least in this way than didn't mention about this idea at all. And this idea with challenges also tied with ideas that I was talking about self-pity, because indulgence and self-pity, they move against our challenges. And in those very moments, we are moving against opportunities that God provide us with. Because it's very important to realize that today you are a person who you are, and today you achieved everything you could achieve with the type of person you are. And if you have some more ambitious, more higher aims, you need to become another person, and you can become another person only through hardships. And I convinced about this on my own example, because I see how many changes I gained over the past 3 years, and especially I see how many changes I gained over the past 6 months. And it's very important. It literally creates a new person that sometimes I can't recognize in terms of positive light, of course. So that's basically everything I wanted to mention about this topic. And finally I can mention what happened per day, how I came up with this idea. I woke up in the morning routine, studying French 1 hour in the morning, after the gym I was studying French 1 more hour, English 1 hour, reading a book 30 minutes, English 20 minutes more, in total 3 hours 50 minutes of studying. And honestly I wanted to create some kind of questions that I'm gonna to answer every video, because I don't really have structure, but I guess there are some things that I always need to mention, and instead of looking for them in my mind, I just will be able to read those questions and to answer them. And I shifted my focus to talk more about things, to learn more things, not related specifically to studying, but to overall improvement. Today I was studying about God. Yesterday I was studying psychology and about 20 years civilization circle. And it's really interesting. It's really interesting to broaden your mind, to expand your vision. When you can see better, when you can see why it happens to you. For example, as we are talking about challenges. When you understand why it happens to you, you don't question it, you just move on. But when you cannot understand this, you question this, you give up, and you just complain about your life. So overall knowledge are very important, and I convinced about this in my own example, and I'm convincing about this listening to some very smart people who achieved a lot in this life. I'm listening to them and they say the same thing. So I trust them, and I trust myself, and I trust God. And that's why I'm doing all those things. Basically, that's all. I don't have any special ideas. The only I wanted to mention, I guess I mentioned, indifference begins when life stops giving you any lessons at all, because it means you have given up so much that God simply allows you to stay where you are. These challenges shape your character, kill your weakness, and give you strength. It's something from my text. It's something that I've just read, and basically that's all. I'm grateful if someone watch it. And that's all for today. See you the next time.